Hi, homeschool parents. This is video number 2 in our planner review series where I'll be showing you our favorite homeschool planners. If you're new here, welcome. At the Homeschool Newbie, we help homeschooling parents go from confusion to confidence in their homeschooling journey. Today, I'll be taking you on a tour inside the Homeschool Planner and Essential Organizer. And together, we're going to go on a walkthrough of what's inside and then some of my thoughts at the end of what I think this planner is useful for and maybe some things that could be improved. So the cover is really nice. It's very, I like the design, and if you feel the cover, it's actually fairly smooth and soft, which is, it's kind of has a fun texture. The binding, so this is soft cover, and the binding is definitely not spiral bound or three punch bound, so it makes it a little bit, you kind of have to crease it to make it open. But some people like it like that. The size is really nice. It's not too small, but it's small enough that you can take it around and it's fairly lightweight. So let's dive in. It's also undated, so you can start any time of the year, or even any year. If you get it one year and you kind of forget about it, and then the next year you want to use it, that's great. You can also start any month of the year. So if you don't start like traditional schools in August or September, then this will be useful for you. We come to the how to use this planner, which is super useful. She shares a lot of general tips for using the planner, as well as go into detail for each section and page that she has included on this planner. So there's no question of how you can use this in your homeschool. Which another thing she did is she said, this is up to 4 kids, and she designed it for flexibility. So, even though you don't have 4 kids, you can still fill the space. Or if you have 6 kids, you can kind of adapt that for your own homeschool. Then we come across let's go back here, sorry. The essentials section, and this is mainly for getting yourself organized in the beginning of the year. And so we come to the curriculum and resources. And she's organized it by subject, and so that you can have balance between your subjects on which curriculum and resources you're gathering for your year. And so if you see you only have one curriculum or resource in this subject, but you have 4 over here, you can see very quickly that you can add more in this subject. So I thought that was unique and interesting. We come to the accounts, which is a very detailed record. So you have the account, purchase date, expire or renewal date, and the price that the resource cost you. And then on the following page, you have plenty of room to write passwords for websites or online accounts, which, maybe there's going to be duplicates. You'll have an account here that you also use in here. So I'm surprised they didn't put the password and username on this page, but maybe that was intentional because maybe not all of them were paid or you had to create an account with. So just gives you an extra space and more options. Then we come to the field trip section. We have field trip event, date, time, and if there's a fee, you can list it here. This is nice because you can list a lot of them on these. And I think, so it has like 4 full pages dedicated to field trips. The only thing is you don't have a lot of space to write notes in this. So it's just kind of a record of where you've gone versus a space to plan it all out. And maybe you could use that in your notes section, which I will explain further on in the planner, but very cool. And we're coming to the homeschool connections page where you write down the names of people you meet. Maybe it's fellow homeschool families you meet at co-op groups or whatever, organizations you want to remember their name, phone, and email. I normally keep this information in my phone contact, but sometimes it's nice to have a one place for just the homeschool connections that you want to just reference as you're planning your week. You can just flip through this page. So we have the reading list, and I feel like this is really cute. The wreaths, the design's very cute. It would be perfect for read alouds because there's actually 4 pages of the reading list. For your students' reading list, if you have avid readers, this might be hard to, and especially for multiple kids, if you have 4 kids, they're going to read, more than 1 page of these wreaths. worth of books if you only have space for one book per read. So in that way, I think that's something that could be improved with this design if it's intended for a student reading list, but maybe this is intended for a read aloud, because if so, there's plenty of room for that. And then we come to the plan. So a year ahead and term goals. So is this kind of more of a goal section and an event, where you can kind of see things in an overview of what you're going to do throughout your year. So year ahead, this is meant to be a customized calendar where you include the months up here. And if you can see, there's 1 through 31. So that's the days of the month. And you can kind of list it in a, list the things that are going on each day of that month, which is really cool at a glance. The only disadvantage is there's not much space per day. So if you have more than one thing that day that you want to remember, you might have to include that in your month, in a space that has more, like the page that includes more space. So this only has one line per day per month, is what I'm saying. So, but it does include a space enough for one whole year. So January through December. And then you have term goals at a glance, and it's 1 through 6. And again, it's kind of the list format where you can just write a list of things that you'd like to accomplish with your students during that term. Okay, the schedule, and this is where we get to start planning in more detail. So we have the month, and you get to customize that depending on when you want to start your homeschooling. Goals for the month, to-dos, important, and notes. So this is kind of a fun overview where you can reference or just plan ahead and kind of brainstorm what you want to do. And then we have a daily tracker, and this can be used for grades. This can be used for other habits. It's blank on purpose so you can use it for what you feel like will be most useful for you and your students. Then we come to the month. It's undated, so you can fill that in to when you're starting. And it's Monday through Sunday. And then we have a section for notes. And it's very, I feel like there's enough space to write down everything you'd like to include that month. Then we come to the week, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is awesome, up to 7. And you can put the days of the week here. If you do homeschool on the weekends, this will be nice. You can put the days up here and then the subjects here. Or if you only do 5 days a week, so you can 5 days of school a week, you can put the days over here and then the subjects over here. So and it's completely blank. It uses the full page, so it's taking advantage of all of the page real estate, and it has these helpful lines to take advantage of writing more per square if you'd like. They also have a tip in the beginning to color code your students to help you keep organized that way. So if you have different plans for different students, you can assign a color like blue or red to a particular student. And then we have repeat. This repeats for 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it repeats through the next month. And it has the tracker, the month, and it goes through the weeks again all the way until the end. So it includes 12, enough room for 12 months. And then we can go to the end, and I'll show you the fun things there. Okay, so we have tracking, student checklists, attendance, and budgets. So we have attendance here, and this is nice because you can add a tally mark to indicate each student, or you can just color in the day to represent your whole family. Student checklist, and again, this can be for anything you'd like. Very flexible, it's completely blank. And let's see how many pages there were, just so you can know. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. And then we have homeschool budget. And this is nice, especially if you, well, for one, have a budget, but 2, if your state has a program that reimburses you for any homeschool related expenses like supplies or curriculum, this would be a great place to reference them all at once for your reimbursement too. And then we come to review and reflect, year in review, and notes. This is cute because it helps guide you through some possibilities of memories that you can write down. And So we have our favorite subjects this year, best field trip, best resource, biggest accomplishment, places we've seen, closest friends, goals for the next year. So, and then this page it says photo collage. So you're welcome to put photos here. You might shrink them a bit so you can fit more on the page. You can correlate them to the topics you talked about here. So maybe places we've seen, you have a picture of that place that you went to. And then we have a bunch of notes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 note pages, all lined, which is really awesome. Okay, so now that we've kind of flipped through this book, I want to share a few pros and cons that I have noticed as I was flipping through this. So I feel like throughout the whole planner, the formatting of the fonts and the design is very clean. It's not too busy. It helps you stay organized, which is really nice. I feel like some planners get a little bit, they try too hard to have pretty design and it's kind of hard to read or it's just a mess. So this one's very clean to me. This planner is very good at holding your hand with planning. Like it has at the beginning of each month, it has almost like a forecasting of what you want to do, or you can, reflect here if you are more of a reverse planning kind of family. But it also has like planning pages, like accounts and just places, extra features that keep you organized and plan efficiently. So it also has it guides you through how to use the planner, which is really cool. Some planners don't include this, which I think this is very useful for taking full advantage of learning how to customize this best for you, at least a starting point. And I like how flexible this planner is. It doesn't have a lot of things filled in, like the days of the week. It looks like it was intended here originally because of the square. You can put the date in, but for me, it would be cool to be able to include the weekend. So maybe I would do like I said before, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday planning. So it just depends on what you need, and it's very good at accommodating most homeschool needs. So a few cons. For me, it's paperback, which is not a big. There's honestly not a lot of cons to this. For me, these are a little bit nitpicky. So the paperback with little kids around, I have both. I have toddlers and babies around, and so if they were ever to get a hold of this, the cover might get bent, and the spine, the binding is a bit hard to keep it open. See, I'm kind of fighting with it. I would have to really crease the middle or get it like a spiral bound myself by going to the store. And some people that doesn't bother you. If that doesn't bother you, that's fine. That's just something that I noticed that might bother me. Some formatting, and this is, again, it's very nitpicky, but the way the reading list and it was organized, I felt like it could have been improved, although it was very cute with the wreaths. I feel like we could have been more efficient with the space. A lot of her resources are list formatting, like the year ahead, which that took advantage of the whole page, which this one, it kind of, you can write in between, but that would get messy. It's not clear if this is meant for, I'm sure it could be meant for your students, but it just doesn't give a lot of space. So sticking to a read aloud list might be best for this. And honestly, that is it. I feel like this is overall a really nice planner. And with Homeschool, you have to have a planner that is flexible for you. And so this one was designed with flexibility in mind. And so I feel like overall this is a really good, clean option for people looking to get organized and have a great year that kind of, with a planner that kind of adapts as their homeschool adapts, because that happens a lot in homeschooling as the year goes on. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you're feeling excited about getting organized this school year, grab my homeschooling starter kit over at homeschoolnewbie.com. Also, don't miss the other homeschooling planners that I'll be reviewing in this series in our YouTube channel. You can find all of these resources in the description below. Thanks for watching.